So, how did you distribute the human resources of your group?
Well, actually, our group is one of, I think, of the biggest. We are working on with the Unicef about something really, really interesting, and we just started making some brainstorming at the beginning and see what actually we had to do and how, in a general point of view. Afterwards, we just, how to say, isolated the principal problems, where is something like that we call division into sub-problems of the main problem. And afterwards, just speaking with each other and what you like to do and all this stuff, we just divided. And we defined 3 biggest problems, and we worked on that. And hopefully, in a couple of hours, maybe we will have some real results.
Okay. So what are those 3 main areas?
So the thing, in general, we want also to, our objective is to define a new version of something like a shipment protocol for vaccines. And this, the main problem is defining some device, some hardware device that is going to monitor the vaccines during all the from from when they are made, since they are shipped actually to the target, to the to the location where they have to. That can be in Africa or can be in the Gaza Strip or all these things. And the main problem is that we have to create a web interface where the Unicef people can keep track of this box. Afterwards, we have these devices that can they have to communicate somehow with a central server, and afterwards we have the communication problem. How actually the device has to communicate with the server. So it's like 3 different layers. So device, communication layer, and web server and user interface.
Okay, so you got different people working on those 3 different layers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's also quite interesting because 2 times during the process we were able to learn out of the Unicef people that they actually did wanted a different product than what they had initially specified. Yeah. So we sort of to change the whole project and make our projects which weren't originally specified in order to meet the actual requirements. But actually, I see this as kind of an exciting challenge. I think we will come out of it quite well.
Yeah. Actually, in the real world, it's always like this. Also because we call it stakeholders when, for example, people now from the Unicef or tomorrow, I don't know, Microsoft, something like this, will say to do something to us. It's always we call it a process. It's something that you always can, back to the same points and define always better and better and better. Going always more in detail. And until now it's working.
Works quite well so far.
Yeah.
Okay. So what have you guys been working on in this project? If we start.
Okay. I've been working on trying to figure out how the device will look like in the real world, and in a way, the most simple way in which we could make something like a simulation framework. So simulate, for example, hundreds of these kind of devices that are communicating with a central server and giving some information about the location and the temperature of the vaccine that were our main objectives. And afterwards, through this, some channel, we are making something like using Java. We are making this kind of simulation, and this simulation is producing a lot of messages that are, collected from a web server. And this web server actually is where my friend here is working.
Yeah. Our whole initial, our whole part of the project has changed dramatically through the process. Because initially, Unicef made it sound as if they wanted us to have an interface which could track the devices in motion on the roads of Africa. It then turned out that it was actually airports which was the consideration, and it was actually even not just airports, but it was data collection, statistical data collection, considering the airports using the device, which where they actually want to use all this document. So in our group, we had to several times redo all our work from scratch because, well, yeah, because it's usually like that with the end user. It's very hard for them to specify what it is they actually need, simply because they don't actually know what it is that they need. But I think we've been quite successful in getting it out of them. I think we've been very helpful and very open-minded in terms of helping us determine what it is they actually need. Yeah. And I think it's been wonderful working with skilled programmers who can actually set the stuff in motion, which we sit in our group and just decide, and then for them to magically put it on.
So it seems you've got a great teamwork in your group.
No, absolutely. I'm really happy about this event. I was speaking actually about this. It's really, how to say, just fantastic.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah.